The 10 most powerful families in the world. They control 80% of the world's food supply, influence the rise and fall of oil prices, and even decide the amount of war reparations. Some of their names have never appeared on any rich list, yet they silently weave the fabric of global affairs. From Wall Street's financial undercurrents to oil empires in the desert, from a single grain of wheat to the planet-wide Hunger Games. Hello, I'm V. Today, let's uncover how these 10 families are rewriting the rules of human civilization with money. Number 10. The Arnault family. The Arnauds are France's most powerful business dynasty, controlling LVMH, the largest luxury conglomerate on the planet. Their legendary rise began with the third-generation family member, Bernard Arnault. Born in 1949 into a construction family, Bernard persuaded his father to pivot into real estate, laying the foundation of his empire. In 1984, he made a bold move, acquiring the struggling Boussac Group, the then-parent company of Dior, in what many called a snake-swallowing an elephant takeover. He immediately shut down non-core assets and revived Dior, marking his first major step into the luxury world. During the 1987 global market crash, Bernard strategically gained control over the newly merged Louis Vuitton, Moët & Chandon, and Hennessy, forming LVMH. Through over 60 acquisitions, he brought under his umbrella 75 luxury brands, including Givenchy, Fendi, Bulgari, and Tiffany & Company, building a vast empire across fashion, jewelry, watches, and fine wines. By 2024, LVMH had generated 84.7 billion euros in revenue and surpassed a $400 billion market cap, accounting for a third of France's total stock market value. Bernard Arnault's personal fortune exceeded $228 billion in 2023, making him the world's richest man multiple times. Number 9. The Lee family. South Koreans often joke, there are 3 things you can't avoid in life: death, taxes, and Samsung. The Lee family, founders of Samsung, are the ultimate power brokers behind South Korea's economy. Their story dates back to 1938, when Lee Byung-chul started Samsung as a small trading company in Daegu, exporting dried fish and vegetables. Over time, the business evolved into a sprawling industrial empire. Driven by the motto, serving the nation through industry, Lee Byung-chul made Samsung a cornerstone of South Korea's post-World War II economic miracle. In 1969, he launched Samsung Electronics and entered the semiconductor field, laying the groundwork for what would become a global tech titan. When his son Lee Kuan-hee took over in 1987, he initiated the new management revolution, prioritizing quality and innovation. Under his leadership, Samsung became the world leader in consumer electronics and memory chips. But internal power struggles were ever present. Lee Kuan-hee sidelined his own brothers to secure control. His son Lee Jae-yong inherited the empire in 2014, only to get embroiled in a bribery scandal involving former President Park Geun-hye, exposing the deep entanglement between Korean chaebols and political elites. Today, Samsung accounts for over 20% of South Korea's GDP. With 79 subsidiaries spanning everything from skyscraper construction like the Burj Khalifa to weapons manufacturing, many joke that South Korea isn't a country, it's the Republic of Samsung. Number 8. The Koch family. The Koch family is one of the most powerful business and political dynasties in the United States, with its wealth centered around Koch Industries, the largest privately held company in the world. The family's rise began in 1927 when founder Fred Koch developed an improved crude oil refining technique. After facing pushback from American oil giants, he turned to building refineries in the Soviet Union and Nazi Germany, amassing capital abroad. In 1940, he established with River Oil and Refining Company in the U.S., which was later renamed Koch Industries. By 2024, Koch Industries boasted over $125 billion in annual revenue, more than 60,000 employees, and operations in over 60 countries, yet remains privately held to maintain full family control. The second-generation leaders, Charles Koch and David Koch, were the key drivers of the company's expansion. They also engaged in a bitter 2-decade legal battle against their elder brothers, Frederick and William, ultimately consolidating control by buying them out for $800 million. The Koch family has deeply influenced U.S. politics, donating over $145 million through the Koch Foundation Network to support conservative causes, fueling the Tea Party movement, and lobbying heavily against climate legislation, earning them the nickname the Koch Octopus. Number 7. The Al Nahyan family. The Al Nahyan family is the hereditary ruling dynasty of Abu Dhabi, the wealthiest emirate in the UAE. They control roughly 6% of the world's oil reserves and an estimated $300 billion in assets. Their lineage dates back to a 1760 migration of the Bani Yas tribal confederation to Abu Dhabi Island. The modern state's foundation was laid by Sheikh Zayed bin Sultan Al Nahyan, who came to power in 1966 via a peaceful coup and later became the founding president of the United Arab Emirates. He oversaw the transformation of the oil economy and established the Abu Dhabi Investment Authority, which now manages over $800 billion in assets. Current President Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, who took office in 2022, has led the country's digital and renewable energy initiatives. His brothers Mansour bin Zayed, owner of Manchester City FC, and Tanaum bin Zayed, chairman of ADI, control major sectors, including sports, finance, and technology. Through sovereign funds like ADIA and the Royal Group, the family has built a global investment empire with stakes in SpaceX, OpenAI, Tiffany & Company, and more. They also hold $7 billion worth of real estate in London, Paris, and other major cities. Their political influence extends throughout the Middle East and across the globe. Their lifestyle is marked by extreme luxury, including the world's largest private yacht, a Zam worth $500 million, a private Boeing 747, and several lavish palaces with annual maintenance costs exceeding $400 million. Number 6. The Morgan family. The Morgan family is one of America's most dominant financial dynasties, with roots tracing back to the 17th century when Joseph Morgan emigrated to the U.S. and built early wealth through cafes, inns, and insurance speculation. The family's serious rise began in the 19th century when George Peabody established a transatlantic financial network in London. He gained the trust of British capitalists by issuing bonds of Maryland and later passed the business to Junius Morgan, laying the foundation for transatlantic capital flows. The third generation, John Pierpont Morgan, founded the House of Morgan in 1871. Through mergers and acquisitions, he monopolized 70% of U.S. railroads and formed U.S. Steel in 1901, manipulating valuations to control the market. At his peak, Morgan controlled 33% of U.S. financial capital and 65% of the insurance industry, creating what became known as a Morgan system. J.P. Morgan played a pivotal role in stabilizing the 1907 financial crisis, orchestrating a rescue by compelling Wall Street banks to inject liquidity, which indirectly led to the creation of the Federal Reserve. Number 5. The Ambani family. The Ambani family is one of the most influential business dynasties in India, with its conglomerate, Reliance Industries, dominating key sectors like energy, telecommunications, and retail. The group's annual revenue accounts for nearly 10% of India's GDP. The family's rise began in the 1930s, when founder Dhirubhai Ambani made his first fortune speculating on silver coins. He later expanded into the textile industry and leveraged political ties with then Prime Minister Indira Gandhi to secure monopoly advantages, forming a development model deeply intertwined with politics. After Dhirubhai's death in 2002, a 3-year succession battle erupted between his sons, Mukesh and Anil. Eventually, under their mother's mediation, the empire was split. Mukesh took control of oil and petrochemicals, while Anil managed telecommunications and finance. However, Anil's aggressive investments collapsed during the 2008 financial crisis, and Mukesh ended up paying off 5.5 billion rupees of his brother's debt, consolidating control over the empire. Under Mukesh's leadership, Reliance pivoted toward digital transformation, cementing his status as Asia's richest man with a personal fortune of around $96.7 billion in 2024. The family has expanded globally through sovereign funds and acquisitions, such as investing in Tiffany & Company and SpaceX, while remaining tightly embedded in India's political ecosystem. Prime Minister Modi has attended their family weddings, and even Donald Trump sought engagement during his inauguration. This business monopoly plus political protection cycle has fueled rapid growth, though it has also deepened India's wealth inequality. The family's fortune equals the annual income of 14% of India's population. Today, Reliance Industries is valued at over $217 billion and operates across the entire industrial chain, often referred to as India's second government. Number 4. The Rockefeller family. The Rockefeller family is one of the most powerful and historically influential dynasties in American business and finance. Their wealth and power span oil, banking, politics, and philanthropy, profoundly shaping the development of modern capitalism. The family's ascent began in the mid-19th century when John D. Rockefeller founded Standard Oil and came to dominate 90% of the U.S. oil market. Using vertical integration and horizontal mergers, he amassed a fortune equivalent to around $400 billion today, 1.5% of the U.S. GDP at that time. Before the company was broken up by antitrust laws in 1911, the family's long-lasting influence is sustained through three pillars. First, their global business network. The 34 companies that emerged from the Standard Oil breakup, including ExxonMobil and Chevron, remain under indirect family control. Second, political infiltration. The third-generation Nelson Rockefeller served as governor of New York in 1959 and vice president of the United States in 1974, and the family has long used think tanks like the Council on Foreign Relations to shape national policy. Third, philanthropic capitalism. Since its founding in 1913, the Rockefeller Foundation has funded breakthroughs such as the yellow fever vaccine, the green revolution in agriculture, and established institutions like the University of Chicago, MoMA, and Peking Union Medical College. With total donations exceeding $5 billion, around $80 billion today, the family strategically used philanthropy to defuse public resentment and reinforce social influence. Number 3. The Saudi royal family. The Saudi royal family is the hereditary ruling dynasty of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, with origins dating back to the early 18th century in the Najd region of the Arabian Peninsula. The family's rise was rooted in a political-religious alliance formed in 1744 between Mohammed bin Saud and Islamic reformer Muhammad ibn Abd al-Wahhab, establishing a theocratic political system. In 1932, Abdulaziz ibn Saud unified the peninsula and founded modern Saudi Arabia. His direct descendants have monopolized the core of national power ever since. The current ruler, King Salman, and his son, Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, also the Prime Minister, now lead the country. The family's power structure revolves around oil wealth plus absolute monarchy. They control around 17.3% of the world's oil reserves and substantial natural gas resources. In 2022 alone, oil revenues reached $326 billion, and their overseas assets exceed $80 billion. The royal family is vast, with about 5,000 princes and around 2,000 considered core members. The traditional succession system of brother-to-brother inheritance was upended in 2017, when King Salman appointed his son as crown prince and launched the ambitious Vision 2030 to diversify the economy toward tech and renewables. To consolidate tribal alliances, royal intermarriage has been a key strategy. Abdulaziz himself had over 30 wives and fathered more than 90 children, forming internal power factions like the Saderi branch. Number 2. The Walton family. The Walton family is the wealthiest business dynasty in the United States, with their fortune rooted in their controlling stake in Walmart, the world's largest retailer. Founded in 1962 by Sam Walton, Walmart started as a small-town discount store in Bentonville, Arkansas. By leveraging an everyday low-price strategy, an efficient logistics network, and vertical integration, the company expanded rapidly. By the time of Sam Walton's death in 1992, Walmart had grown to 1,735 stores, with annual revenues reaching $43.8 billion. As of 2024, the Walton family hold around 47% of Walmart's shares, with a combined net worth of nearly $300 billion, surpassing the wealth of Bill Gates and Warren Buffett combined. Despite their immense wealth, the family remains true to Sam Walton's frugal values, though their business ambitions are far-reaching. The third generation has taken a hands-on role in corporate governance. For instance, eldest grandson Lucas Walton oversees Walmart's international business operations. The family also channels significant resources into philanthropic initiatives through their foundation, donating tens of billions of dollars to education, environmental causes, and community development. Number 1. The Rothschild family. The Rothschild family is perhaps the most legendary Jewish banking dynasty in European history. Their financial empire began in 18th century Frankfurt with Mayer Amschel Rothschild, a currency exchange dealer. He strategically placed his 5 sons in London, Paris, Vienna, Naples, and Frankfurt, creating the first transnational banking network in Europe. This enabled the family to dominate financial intelligence, cross-border capital transfers, and high-stakes businesses such as war loans, bond issuance, and gold trading. At their peak in the 19th century, the Rothschilds controlled global gold pricing, financed the construction of the Suez Canal, and profited from funding major military campaigns, such as the Napoleonic Wars and the Franco-Prussian War. At one point, Their total wealth was estimated to be equivalent to today's $50 trillion. The family's emblem, 5 arrows, symbolize unity, and they maintained their financial dominance through a tradition of endogamy, with 29 cousin marriages recorded within the family. Politically, they were deeply embedded. They financed the UK's slave abolition compensation scheme, which totaled £20 million, played a key role in managing France's war reparations after the Franco-Prussian War, amounting to £100 million, and were influential in the eventual founding of the State of Israel. Their operational strategy included monopolizing sovereign bond issuances, such as a £5 million loan to Prussia, manipulating commodity markets, including gold and oil, and shaping public opinion and culture through charitable institutions, notably through projects like the restoration of Waddesdon Manor. Though the family's influence waned after World War II due to Nazi persecution and the rise of American financial power, they adapted by shifting focus to boutique investment banking through Rothschild & Co., making strategic technology investments, such as their 2015 stake in NVIDIA, and advising on major international mergers and acquisitions, including their role in Geely's acquisition of Volvo. Today, the family's fortune is dispersed among thousands of heirs and spans a diverse range of sectors, including finance through RIT Capital Partners, mining via holdings in companies like Rio Tinto and BHP, and luxury goods, most notably Chateau Lafite Rothschild. Their estimated net worth in 2024 ranges between $400 billion and $1 trillion. While they continue to exert behind-the-scenes influence through cross-holdings and family trusts, the Rothschilds remain both a symbol of enduring financial power and a subject of ongoing debate, due to their historical monopolies and the legacy of consanguinity. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe.